So, welcome to MCA program MCSL 016. The name of the paper is Internet Concepts and Web Design. And here we have one block, that is scripting languages, and under this block we have 6 units. The first unit, I think all of you have the textbook, and the first unit, that is the internet. First of all, I want to say you that there is only practical session for this paper, that is MCSL. That's why we call it as MCSL 016, Internet Concepts and Web Design. So we are discussing only the portions that we want for our practicals. So the first unit, that is the internet. Those who have text, you can just go through that. That is purely the introduction part and the concept of internet. There is no practical part regarding this internet, only theory portions. It may ask for your viva in this unit, so we are not discussing this unit over here. Unit 1, the internet. Then the second unit is introduction to HTML, that we will discuss. Then unit 3, advanced HTML, that is also we will discuss. Then unit 4, introduction to JavaScript, and unit 5, VB script. And the unit 6, Dreamweaver, that will not ask for your examination or your practical side, so we are not discussing it here. All of you, you know that we have only limited time for completing this entire paper. So the unit 1 that we are not discussing here, you just go through that unit 1, that is the theory part, and it may ask questions from this unit for your viva part. And the unit 2, introduction to HTML, that we will complete today itself. It may take around 1 hour. And unit 3, advanced HTML, that we want to complete 2 classes for completing this unit 3, advanced HTML. And also unit 4, that is introduction to JavaScript, and that unit also may take 2 classes for completing. And unit 5, VB-script, it is not possible to do this VB-script commands by using this, that is Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox. It may work the older versions of Internet Explorer. There are some limitations for discussing this VB-script. Then your practical record book, regarding that your practical record book, from this 5 units you have to write 20 programs from your lab manual. You have to write 20 programs from your lab manual for your practical record book. And from this unit 2, we can divide it into 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. The first 5 questions you have to take from unit 2, and the next 5 questions you have to take from unit 3, and the next 5 questions you have to take from unit 4, and the last 5 you have to take from unit 5. Then what you want to do is, in the right side of the record book, you have to write the program. That we will discuss how you can write the HTML code. In the right part of the page, you have to write the HTML code. Then at the same time, you have to do the program and save it in HTML format, and run the program and take the screenshot of the output. Then take the printout of that screenshot and paste it in the left side of the program part. So in the right side, for example, in the first page, just open the first page, and the right side you have to write the code. And again, it is not completed, then you have to turn over the next page, and in the right side only you can write the code. And in the first page, left side, left part, you have to paste the printout of the screenshot, output screenshot. Okay, this is the way that you want to complete your lab record book. The lab manual is there, and just write the question, then do it by yourself and run the program, then take the printout. Then we are moving. So the unit 1, the internet. In this, the introduction part is there, then objectives, then classification of network, then networking models, then packet switching, then introduction, what is IP, then TCP IP, all these are discussing in this unit. And now we are not trying to discuss or going through this unit. Now we are moving to unit 2. So that is unit 2, introduction to HTML. So in this unit we are discussing the introduction part is there, objectives are there, then what is HTML, basic tags of HTML, then HTML tag, title tag, body tag, then formatting the text, then headers, formatting tags, pre-tag, font tag, then special characters, then working with images and the meta tag. All these we will discuss, and we will try to complete this unit today itself. Then the introductory part, first part, that is what is HTML. What is HTML? I think all of you are familiar with this HTML. The full form of HTML is Hypertext Markup Language. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Then HTML provides a way of displaying web pages with text and images or multimedia content. So this HTML provides a way of displaying web pages. The HTML provides a way of displaying web pages, and that web page contains text, image and multimedia content. So HTML is not a programming language. HTML is not a programming language, it's a markup language. So that's why we call it as hypertext markup language. It's not a programming language like C, C++, Java. It is just a markup language, and this is the language for the web. An HTML file is a text file containing small markup tags. So in this HTML tags we are not using commands, but we are using tags. In HTML, in this HTML we are not using commands, but we are using tags. So an HTML file must have an extension of .htm or .html. So all the HTML files should have the file name extension .htm or .html. So if you want to see the web page of a company, you should enter the URL. So the full form of URL is, all of you are familiar, Uniform Resource Locator, which is the website address of the company in the address bar of the web browser. So if you want to visit the website of a company, what we want to do first, we want to open the web browser like Google Chrome or Cortana or Netscape Navigator, any web browser that you can use, Mozilla Firefox, any web browser that we can use. Then in the address bar, that is the top portion, the place that we can type text. So in the address bar, you want to type the URL, the Uniform Resource Locator of the company's website. For example, if you want to visit the web page of Google, then the URL for Google is, all of you are familiar with www.google.com. That we want to type in the address bar of the web browser, then press the enter key. Then what we can see, we can see the home page of Google. Then this send a request to the web server. So if you want to see the web page of a company, first we want to type the URL, and that URL will send the website address of the company in the address bar. Then this send a request to the web server, which in turn responds by returning the desired web page. So the browser then renders the web page and you see it on your computer. So this is the thing that is happening when we are open the web browser and type the URL and press the enter key. So the basic HTML page begins with the tag HTML and ends with /HTML. So in this HTML that we already discussed, that HTML we are using tags. We are using tag, T-A-G-S. We are using tags. So there are two types of tags are there in HTML. The first type is, normally we call it as a container tag. Container tag. And the second type that we call it as empty tag. So there are two types of HTML tags are there. First type of tag that we call it as container tag, and second one is called empty tag. Then what is the difference between this container tag and empty tag? First of all, when we are giving a tag in HTML, all the tags that we are giving, the structure of a tag is, the tag should be within this less than and greater than symbol. For example, this is a tag HTML. So we are placing this tag between less than and greater than symbol. And the basic HTML page begins with the tag HTML. How we can write this HTML? Within this less than greater than symbol, we can write the HTML tag and end with the /HTML. So it will end with the /HTML. So these HTML tags are not case sensitive, so we can use uppercase letters, lowercase letters, or mixed type letters. There is no problem. Okay, so a tag with, and this is called the open tag, this is called the close tag. So an HTML tag that contains an open tag and close tag is called a container tag. An HTML tag with open and close tag, with open tag and close tag, that type of tags that we call it as container tag. And if there is no closing tag, that type of tag that we call it as empty tag. For example, BR. This is an empty tag. There is no /BR. So two types of tags are there: container tag and empty tag. Container tag means an HTML tag with the open tag and close tag. That type of tag that we call it as container tag. And empty tag means there is no closing tag. That type of tag that we call it as empty tag. So the basic HTML page begins with the tag HTML and end with /HTML. In between, the file has two sections. The first section, that is the head section, and the body section. So in between, the file has two sections. The sections are header and body. The header enclosed by head and /head tags containing the information about a page that will not appear on the page itself, such as the title. So what we are giving in this head and /head is called the title of the page, that will not seen in the main area or main body part of the web page. So the header section that we enclose the head and /head tags, and it is a container tag. Why? Because head is there and /head is also there. So it's a container tag. And in between the head tag, we are using the title tag. So we are writing it like this: head, and in between the head we are giving the title over here, and what title that we want to give, and we want to close the title first, and we want to close the head / head. Then after that the body will start. Okay. Then the body, next part is called the body, enclosed by body and / body. Body and / body is where the action is. So what all things that we are putting in between the body and / body will be seen in the main part, or in the container part of the web browser is where the action is. Then everything that appears on the page is contained within these tags, within this body and / body tag. So then the HTML page are of two types. There are two types of HTML pages are there. First one is called the static type of HTML pages, and second one is called the dynamic type of HTML pages. So the HTML pages are of two types, static and dynamic pages. Then what is static pages and what is dynamic pages? So static pages, as the name indicates, comprises static contents, that may be text or images. So you can only see the content of a web page. You can see only the content of a web page without being able to have any interaction with it. So static pages are, they are normally static pages. The name indicates that it's a static pages. You can only see the contents of the web page without being able to have any interaction like TV programs or radio signals. So there is no way to interact with. Then dynamic pages. Then dynamic pages are those where the content of the web page depend on user input. So that's why we call it as a dynamic pages. Dynamic pages are those where the content of the web page depend on user input. So interaction with the user is are required in order to display the web page. So when we open this web page, for example, if you want to create a mail ID in Google, then we should give some information about us, your first name, your last name, your mail ID, your date of birth, your gender, then all this such we want to give. So that web page that we can say as it's a dynamic page. So dynamic pages are those where the content of the web page depend on user input. So interaction with the user is required in order to display the web page. Then another one, for example, Amazon Prime. We are just type Amazon Prime. We are entered the web page of Amazon Prime, and if you want to watch a movie, then what all movies are available that are displayed over there, and it will wait for the user's interaction. For example, if you want to click one movie name, then it will start playing. So that type of page that we call it as dynamic pages. Then static page means what? Static page means it will display as such and just we can go through it. It will not ask anything from the user. Just it will display some information and we can go through that information. That type of pages that we call it as static pages. Then basic tags of HTML. So this is the basic HTML tags. First it begins with HTML, and this is the comment part. Put a less than symbol and put an exclamation, then 2 hyphen, this is a comment, then put 2 hyphen and greater than symbol. All of you are familiar with what is comments in programming languages. It is for documentation. It will not affect the program. It is for documentation, that is comments. Then after this HTML, we can omit this comment, there is no problem. Then after this HTML, we want to give the head tag. This is the basic structure of a basic HTML page. So first we want to give the HTML tag that should be in between less than and greater than symbol. It may all caps or all lowercase letters or mixed type letters, there is no problem. It's not case sensitive. Then below that HTML we want to write the head tag. And head and slash head, in between head and slash head, we can write the title tag. So title tag will display the title of the web page. For example, this is the title. When we run this program, we can see the title as title like this. So title here we give the ignore, then it will display the title part of the browser window. Okay. Then we want to close the title and close the head tag. Then after that, body part, it will start body, and in between body and slash body, what all things that we are giving will be displayed in the main area of the web page. Here, this is my first web page. It will display, the output will display like this. This is my first web page. Then we want to close the body tag and we want to close the HTML tag. So this is the basic tags of HTML. This is the basic structure of an HTML page. Then HTML tags are shown in figure 2.3. So this is figure 2.1. This is figure 2.1. As shown in figure 2.1, HTML is a starting tag. So all the HTML pages will start with the tag HTML. So it's a starting tag. To delimit the text inside, add a closing tag by adding a slash to the starting tag. So container tag contains two types of tags, that is opening tag and closing tag. The first tag for an HTML page is HTML, is a starting tag. Then to delimit the text inside, add a closing tag by adding a slash to the starting tag, that is slash HTML. So most but not all the tags have a closing tag. Most of the tags have a closing tag, but like BR, there is no closing tag. That type of tags that we call it as empty tags. So think of tags as talking to the browser, or better still, giving it instructions. So this tags giving instructions to the browser. This tags giving instructions to the browser. What you have just told the browser is, this is the starting of an HTML document. So when we are giving the first tag, that is HTML, this gives the instruction to the browser that this is the starting of an HTML document, and slash tag that will give the instruction to the browser that this is the end of an HTML document. So all the tags should in between this HTML and slash HTML tags. Now you need to put some matter in between these two markers, that is HTML and slash HTML. So every HTML document is segregated into a head and body. The information about the document is kept within the head tag. So the information about the document is kept with the head tag that we already seen. That is, what we are giving this head and slash head, that is only one tag, that is title tag. In between the title and slash title will give the what we are giving, that will display in the title of the web browser. Okay, so the information about the document, here we are giving the information about the document in the head part, that we are giving the information about the document. The body contains the page content. So the body contains the page content. So here we gave the instruction, this is my first web page, that will display the content part of the web browser. So next one, then the title tag. So HTML, that is the beginning of that HTML page. Then after that the head tag, and in between the head and title, in between the head and slash head tag, we are giving the tag, only one tag, that is the title tag. Normally we are giving only one tag, that is called the title and slash title tag. So the title tag, the only thing you have to concern yourselves with in the head tag for now is the title tag. So in between this head and slash head, we are giving only one tag, that is the title tag, and the other part or the bulk part of the page will be within the body tag. So how we can give the title tag? In between the head and slash head, we can give the title tag. What all things that we are giving in this title tag will be displayed in the title of the web browser. Okay. Here the document has been given in the title IGNOU. So it is a good practice to give a title to the document created. What is the title? What is the content of that web page that may reflect in the title of the web page? Okay. Then body tag. All the content to be displayed on the web page has to be written within the body tag or within body and slash body. All the content to be displayed on the web page has to be written within this body and slash body tag. So whether text, headlines, text box, checkbox or any other possible content, everything to be displayed must be kept within this body and slash body tag. So whenever you make a change, so this is the content part, and we will discuss how we can create a HTML document, that we will discuss. And after creating the HTML document, we want to open it by using a web browser, and what else is that we are created by using this HTML will be displayed in a web browser. And if we are doing some changes in the HTML page and we want to reflect that in the browser window, what we want to do, whenever you make a changes to your document, just save it in the document part and hit the reload button or refresh button, that the keyboard shortcut is F5 on your browser window, then only it will reflect over there. Okay, that is the thing regarding this HTML page and the browser window. So that this is the body part, and the body tag has the following attributes. Then we want to discuss what is attribute. So for example, we are giving some instructions, or we are giving some instructions to the web browser by using HTML tags. So in addition to the given part or given tag, we want to give some more instruction to the browser. We are using attributes. All the attributes should be given in the opening tag only, not in the closing tag. So we will discuss. Now we are discussing that. The body tag has the following attribute. Following attribute means the additional information that we are giving, that is called the attributes. For example, this is the body tag. And if we want to give some more instruction in this body tag, that is some attributes, then before the greater than symbol, we have to give the attributes over here. So body, then put a space. The first attribute that we are discussing here is BG color. BG color. That means BG color means background color. It can be used for changing the background color of the page. So BG color, that attribute that we are using along with this body tag is for changing the background color of the page. By default, the background color is white. Normally, the background color of a web browser is white color. If you want to change that default background color, we can use the attribute along with the body tag, that is BG color. The next one, background itself, not BG color but background. So it is another attribute. It is used for specifying the image to be displayed in the background of the page. So instead of this white color or instead of some other colors, we want to use a background image itself. For example, if you want to display the logo of a particular company as background of that company's web page, then we can use the attribute background along with the body tag. Then link. It indicates the color of the hyperlinks which have not been visited or clicked. For example, this HTML page, hypertext markup language pages, here we are using hyperlinks. For navigating one place to another, we are using hyperlinks. Normally we can say as links. For example, we are searching for something and more about that. If you want to see more about that, then some links will be there. When we are moving the mouse over that link, then the mouse pointer will change to a like a hand. Then when we click that, that is a link. When we click that, then what will happen? It will open it will be directed to that page. So that type of things that we call it as hyperlinks. When we are not visited a link, then what will be the color of that not visited link or not clicked the link? That we can specify by using the attribute link along with the body tag. So it indicates the color of the hyperlinks which have not been visited or clicked. That is very important thing, that have not been visited or clicked. Then next one, a link means active link. A link, it indicates the color of the active link. An active link is the one on which the mouse button is pressed. When we press a link, that becomes the active link. So what will be the color? What color that we want for an active link? That we can specify by using the a link attribute of body tag. The next one, v link, that is visited link. It indicates the color of the hyperlinks after the mouse is clicked. That means when we visited page and will be back, then we can see the color of that hyperlink. We can notice that the color of the hyperlink may change. So what will be the color of visited link of a hyperlink? That we can specify by using the v-link attribute of body tag. Then next one, text. It is used for specifying the color of the text displayed on the web page. So what, by default the background should be white and the text color should be black. So if you want to change the color in between, or the entire page should be a particular color, the text color should be a particular one, then that we can specify by using the text attribute of the body tag. So one example here, HTML, then title IGNOR, then body, this is the tag, BG color, that we already discussed. What is BG color? BG color, it can be used for changing the background color of the page. This BG color can be used by using hexadecimal values. We can use hexadecimal values for RGB combination. RGB, what is this RGB combination? Red, green and blue. First part is for red, first two letters or numbers are for red, and next one green, and the next one blue. So RGB combination. So body BG color equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 some hexadecimal values. Then text equal to hash f of 0000. So here you can use the constant like red or blue or green like this. Within double quotes you can use green. So you can use hexadecimal values, or you can use the color constants. Then welcome to IGNOR. After that, what is the content of the web page? Then we close the /body and /html. So the output that you can see over here. So this is one example for body tag and some examples of attributes, the attribute of body tag. Then you can specify a background image in a web page. Note that the image should be in the same folder as your HTML file. Then you can specify a background. Instead of this background color, you can also specify a background image. So HTML body. So this is the second attribute. What is this? Body background. That is the second attribute. So body background equal to. So I placed this image in a folder called images. So I use images slash. We are using this type of slash. Forward slash we should use over here. Then body BG color equal to images slash means what? Where this HTML file is saved, in that folder there is another folder called images, and in that images folder we should have an image called or a JPG file called tajmahal.jpg. So HTML body background equal to images slash tajmahal.jpg. Then welcome to India, that is the content over here. Then /body /html. So it will display tajmahal.jpg in a tiled fashion, not in a single image. It will display as in a tiled fashion. If the size of the image is less, then what will happen? It will copy the image as in a tiled fashion. It will fill the entire part of the web page as a tiled fashion. If the image is big, then we can feel that. If the image is the size of the image is small, then it will be copied as tiled fashion. So this is the next attribute, that is background. So background is used for placing an image as background in the HTML page. The next one, formatting of text. Then headers. Headers are used to specify the headings of sections or subsections in a document. So headers are used to specify the headings of sections or subsections in a document. Depending on the desired size of the text, any of the 6 available levels. How many available levels are there? 6 available levels are there, starting with H1 and the last one is H6. So depending on the desired size of the text, the bigger one is H1 and the smaller one is H6 of the heading that we can use. Example. So then figure 2.4, this is 2.4. Figure 2.4 shows the usage and varying size of the rendered text depending upon the tag used. So HTML, starting with HTML, then head and slash head. In between head and slash head, we are using the title tag. So what all things that we are giving, that will be displayed in the title part of the web browser. Then after closing the head tag, we are starting the body tag. So body, sender means it's another tag. What all things that we are putting sender and slash sender will be displayed as centered in the browser window. So first we are using the first heading level, that is H1. What is the content over there? That is header level 1. Header level 1 will be displayed in the heading size H1. Here, this one. And next one, it will be centered. So next one, H2, header level 2. This is H2 size of headers. Then H3, header level 3. This is the header level 3 size. And H4, header level 4. This is another size. Then H5, header level 5, and H6, this is the header level 6. Then we close the sender tag, then close a body tag and slash HTML. So these are the heading levels. Only 6 heading levels are there. Again we are using H7, header level 7 slash H7. Then what will be the output? It will be printed as normal, because there is no H level heading is there. That will be displayed, printed as normal. It will not be displayed any error like this in HTML pages. The next one, formatting tags. So let us now look at some more tags that can be used to format text. So before moving, that I will show you an HTML page and how it will be displayed in a web browser. So here, this is the first HTML page. If you want to make any changes in this HTML page, that you want to open it in a text editor. So here I am using the text editor Notepad. So if you want to write an HTML file, first we want to open a text editor. Then here you can type the HTML command. How we can type the HTML command? First we want to type the basic structure of an HTML command that we already discussed. First we want to type the less than symbol, then we can type HTML, then put the greater than symbol and press the enter key. Then next part, in between this less than greater than, next one is head, and in between head and slash head we want to type the title, T-I-T-L-E, title, and put the greater than symbol. Then what is the title that we wish to give? That we want to give in between this title and slash title. Then here we want to close the head tag. Then here we can type the body of the HTML tag. Okay. here we are typing this. Then you want to close that by using /body. Then head body, then /html. So starting with HTML, then next tag is head. In between head and /head, we want to give the title. Then we are giving as the title of the web page. Then after closing this head, we can open the body tag, and in between this body and /body, we can give the content of that web page, and we want to close it with /html. The first tag will be closed in the last, that is the order. So the first tag will be closed, the first tag, that is HTML, will be closed as the last tag. So in between the tags head and /head, then below that head we are giving the title. So first we want to close that title, then only we should close the head tag. Then we started body, then we want to close that body tag and HTML /HTML. Then after this we want to save this by using the file name extension as HTML. So here I am giving the name first.html. It is very much mandatory that saving the HTML file in a text editor, it is mandatory that you have to give the file name extension as .html. Otherwise it will be saved as a text file and it will not act as a HTML document. I am saving it in desktop. The name of that file is first.html. So here we are saving that file, this one, first.html. So when we are saving the file with the extension .html, it will be automatically associated the web browser that we are using by default. This is the file. So if you want to see the output of this HTML file, what we want to do? We want to open that file. Just double tap, and otherwise you want to double click it. Chrome. Here I am using Microsoft Edge. This is the output. This is the HTML file and this is the output. Okay. Here we used HTML head title. We used the title IGNO and it is shown as the title of the web browser. Then this is my first web page that we entered in between body and /body. It is displayed as the body part of the body part in the web page. Okay. Here if you want to give some changes over here. So, and the changes is not reflected over here. The changes is not reflected in the web page. So if you want to reflect the changes, first we want to save the file. The file is not saved, then here you can see an asterisk symbol before that, first in the title of that notepad, asterisk first. So that means the file is not saved. So we want to save it, file, save. Then if you want to reflect that changes in this browser, so we want to reload it by using F5 function key or the reload button. So this is my first web page. Welcome you all. Okay, I think it's clear. Now we are moving back. So formatting tags. Let us now look at some more tags that can be used to format text. So the formatting text, what all things that we are giving in between the body and /body, we can give some text over there. We can give some images over there or some multimedia images, movies. All these we can include in between the body and /body. So if you are giving some text information over there, then we can format that text information. For example, we want to make the text as bold. If you want to make some text as bold, that text should be placed in between B tag and /B tag. That is the bold tag. In italic, if you want to make some text as italic, then we can use the tag I and /I. Then underline, it is used for underline the text to be displayed. For example, some text that we want to give some underlines, so we can use that tag U and /U. It is used for underline the text to be displayed. The U tag is used for this purpose. Then this tag can be nested. Means what? in order to see the text in bold face, nested means it's a container tag. Then so in order to see the text in a bold face, in italics and underline. For example, if you want to make some text bold and also the same text as italic and also the same text as underline, then how we can do it? So it should be placed between B, I and U. First we want to give the bold tag, opening bold tag, then we want to give the opening italic tag, then we want to give the opening underline tag, then put the text over there here. Then we want to close the tags. What is the order of closing the tags? The last tag that we open should be closed first. What is the last tag that we opened? That is U. So first we want to close the underline tag. Then the second tag that we use for the opening tag that we used is italic. So next we want to close the italic tag. Then we want to close the bold tag. This is the order that should be used when we are using more tags. This is the order. First tag that we use should be closed last. The last tag should be closed first. So note that the closing tag are written in reverse order because any tag used within some other tag should be closed first. Okay. Then paragraph tag. If you want to display the text in the form of paragraphs, then the P tag should be used. So if you are using this paragraph tag, for example, here you can see some space over here. Here also you can see some space over here. If you are using this P tag, then it will display space before and after in this paragraph. And also we can use another tag called BR. BR. There is no /BR. BR is also used for the same purpose. The content that we are writing after this BR should be displayed in the next line, but it will not give before and after spaces. That is the difference. It may ask for your Viva what is the difference between this P tag and BR tag. It's a container tag as well as it's an empty tag. So if we are using this P tag, then what will happen? We are writing a paragraph. After this P, there will give some spaces before and after of this P tag. Then if you are using BR tag, then what will happen? It will not give before and after spaces for that paragraph. Okay. Then TT. TT. What is the meaning of TT? We will discuss. I will show you the output in a web browser. What all things that we are discussing will be displayed in a web browser. Okay, that is already prepared. Then what is this TT? TT tag is used for displaying text in a fixed width font similar to that of a typewriter. So this TT tag is used for displaying text in a fixed width font similar to that of a typewriter. Okay. So bold is there, italic is there, underline is there, then paragraph tag is there, also TT tag is there. The next one, strike. If you want the text to be marked with a strike through character, place it within S and slashes. For strike through we are using this S and slashes tag. All of you are familiar, I think, what is strike. For example, this is the strike through text. If we want to put a line over the text, that is strike through text. So the next one, strong. There are certain text-based browsers that do not render the text as boldface. For example, if you are using B and this is bold text. This is bold text. /B. Some text-based browsers that we used earlier times are not recognized by this B and /B. In that browsers we can use, instead of this B, we can use the tag strong. So you can use the strong tag instead of the B tag. This displays the text to stand out in the most appropriate manner for the browser. So the same as B, some text-based browsers we can use the strong tag. Then EM. Just as strong tag corresponds to the B, EM tag used instead of I. So instead of this italics, some text-based browsers they can't recognize this italics tab, in that browsers we can use EM. It's similar to I, means similar to italics. The reason for using it is the same as for the strong tag. So EM tag is used for emphasizing the text in the manner most appropriate to the browser. The next one, BR, that we discussed. This tag is used for inserting a line break. The text written after BR tag is displayed from the beginning of the next line. The text written after the BR tag displayed in the beginning of the next line. So this after this BR, what all things that we are writing. For example, we are continuously writing this is, and here we are using BR. Then boldface. Then what will happen? In that browser window, it will display like this. This is, then a boldface should be displayed in the next line. Then HR, the full form is horizontal ruler. So this tag put a horizontal line on the page. It has the following attribute. So this HR tag has some attributes. First one is align. What do you mean by attribute? Attributes are giving extra information to the browser. So HR, horizontal ruler, then first one align. It is used for aligning the line on the page. The possible value of this attribute are its left aligned, right aligned and center aligned. So along with this HR you can use align equal to left or align equal to right. By default it is left aligned, or aligned equal to center. It is useful when the width of the line is less than the width of the page. So if the width of the line is already the width of the page, then there is no need for this align, because if you are using left, right or center, it will no effect over there. So if the size of the ruler is less, then we can use left, right or center. Then next attribute is no shade. So this attribute is used to prevent any shading effect. So we if you want to give shade or it is possible. So if you want to off that shade effect, then we can use HR no shade. Then size, it is used for specifying the thickness of the line, how much thick the line should be, that we can specify by using the size attribute. Then width, you can set the width of the line using this attribute. The value can be specified either in pixels or a percentage of the width of the page. For example, if you want to display a horizontal ruler half the size of the page, then we can use HR, that is horizontal ruler, then width equal to half the size means 50%. Width equal to 50%, that we can give it in double quote. So here 30%. That's one example. 30% of the total width of the page, a horizontal ruler will be displayed. So block quote, this tag indents the left margin of the text. It is used for displaying the text as quoted text, as shown in figure 2.5 that will show you. So for example, this is the margin. Normally we are writing left aligned text, and if you are using the block quote, then what will happen? This tag indents the left margin of the text, means it will leave some space in the left side, that is indent. So if you are using block quotes, this tag indents the left margin of the text. It is used for displaying the text as quoted text, that I will show you. Then next one, address. This tag as shown in figure 2.5 also I will show you, display the text in italics. So if you are using that tag address, then the text below that address tag should be displayed as italics. Then cite, the text placed in between the cite and slash tag is rendered in italics by the browser. So this is also another command, another tag for displaying the text as italics. So these are the formatting tags that we are using. This is the HTML content for showing all the discussed text formatting attributes. Then this is the output. Then one more tag is there, that is pre tag. This tag is used to present the text exactly as written in the code, including white space characters. So it is terminated by /p tag. So it's a container tag. Consider the example shown in figure 2.6. 2.5 that I will show you. Understand how it is this tag works. Okay, these are the basic part: HTML head, title slash head, then body. Then in this body we are using a tag called pre tag, pre, and end with /p, pre and end with /pre. Okay. Then here we are using IGNO also offers a virtual campus. Then after that I put some spaces over here. Normally if you are using this text in body tag, then what will happen? It will display only one space. Okay, here we used 2-3 spaces, and the n here after this campus is a new, then after that we use the enter key. If you are using the pre tag, what all things that we are putting, what all spaces that we are putting, then what all bulleted points that we are giving will be displayed as such. So this tag is used to present the text exactly as written in the code, exactly as written in the HTML code, including white spaces characters. Okay. So that is the pre tag that we are using in this HTML. I will show you the 2.5 exercise. So first part, IGNO, that is displayed in a bold face, provides several programs that we displayed it in italic face. Then in the computer, bold italic stream. Then one of the program that is in italic in MCA, bold, italic and underline. Bold, italic and underline. So this one, title IGNO, then bold IGNO, B/B, then provides several, then after that programs, it should be written in italics, then /I, then in the bold italic, BI, that is computer, BI, computer. So here, BI, computer, then /BI, then one of the after this one of the programs is written in italics is bold and underline. MCA should be in bold and underline here. Then MCA stands for Master of Computer Application, that is MCA bold/bold stands for TT, typewriter style text, Master of Computer Applications, displayed as this one, computer application. Then for MCA strike through, yes and slashes, then bold/bold is considered to be one of the strong, that is same as bold. IGNO, this one. Then here, so here we use the address tag. Then block quote. This is the block quote part for convenience. All the courses offered, that is block quote. We use this one, block quote. HR means horizontal ruler. This is the horizontal ruler line. Then here we used address and /address here. So IGNO BR means the content should be displayed in the next line. After this IGNO we used BR, then the address part. Okay. The next one, font tag. HTML provides the flexibility of changing the characteristics of the font, such as size, color, etc. Every browser has a default font settings that governs the default font name and size and color. By default, all the browsers should have their own default font name, their own default font size and font color. Unless you have changed it, the default font is Times New Roman 12 point with the color black. This is the default settings. So in Internet Explorer 6.0, you can specify font names other than the default. Then the new browser that we can set the font name, font size, font color, such as Arial. Oh, okay, you know that. Next example, 2.7. that we will discuss in the next slide. The attributes are, so in this font tag, some attributes are there. First one, face. This attribute is used to change the font style. Means after face we are giving the name of the font. Then size, we can give 7 different sizes. 1 tiny, 2 small, 3 regular, then 4 extra medium, then 5, 6, 7. This type of sizes that we can use along with the font tag. First one, face, then size, then color. Color, this attribute you can change the desired font color. So these are the attributes of font tag. The value can be specified either by using the hexadecimal format. This is a hexadecimal format. As already described, that we already discussed. Then that is in the RGB format. R means red, green, blue format. First 2 used for red, the next 2 for green, and next 2 for blue. Or you can directly give the color name as blue, like that. Then when you are giving, you should notice that the spelling of the color is COLOR. COLOR. In your text it is displayed as COLOUR. It will not work if you are using this, the spelling like this, COLOUR. Then when we are using the attribute, then you should give COLOR. Okay. Here HTML, this is the example. Sender, it will display as centered in the web browser. Then welcome to, it will display welcome to normal font. Then font size equal to 6. What is the size of 6? 6 means real big. So size equal to 6, and it will display, after that it will display India/font. Then BR is used for moving the next line. Then again it will print welcome to font face equal to Arial. Then it will display the font in Arial face. Then size equal to 6, same size. Then here welcome to font face equal to Arial, size equal to 6, and we are giving the color is also, color is COLOR, note the spelling, COLOR equal to blue. You can give the color in color constant, or you can use the hexadecimal value. Okay. The next one, special characters. So you have seen that there are certain characters that have special meaning in HTML code. For example, less than symbol and greater than symbol. Characters are used for as delimiters. We are using this for delimiters, this less than and greater than symbol. Then if you want to display such characters on the web page, is it possible to display that less than symbol and greater than symbol as such in the web page? Yes. For that we can use some special character codes. To display the less than character, it can be specified as this, put an ampersand symbol and put LT and put a semicolon, like this. So when we are opening the web page in a web browser, the HTML file in a web browser, instead of this ampersand LT, it will display the less than symbol. Okay, the ampersand symbol interprets the LT as less than symbol and display it. But now what if you want to display the ampersand symbol? That symbol itself, simply write ampersand in the code, will not display it. If you want to print this ampersand symbol, then we are putting it, it will not display that ampersand symbol. So, but first let us see how to display some special characters. So this table 2.1 is over there in your textbook. These are the characters and the character symbols. These are the character symbols, and this is the description. So if you want to display this ampersand symbol, what we want to do? Put an ampersand symbol and type AMB, then put a semicolon. Then it will display the ampersand symbol. So these are there in your textbook. Just go through. Then body BG color, next one. This is the example for the special characters. Body BG color equal to one background color that we gave by using this hexadecimal values. This is then after that ampersand NBSP. What it means? NBSP, non break space. That is NBSP, non break space. Here some non-break spaces are used. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces that we used over here. Then what will happen? It will put that much of spaces after printing this is. Then used for. Then after that it will print used for. Then how many non-break spaces will be displayed over there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blank spaces will be printed over there here. Then after that blank space, it will print blank space. Then BR, what's the use of this BR? It will move the remaining part in the next line. Ampersand LT is the less than symbol. So it will print the less than symbol and write the wording is the less than symbol. Then BR, move the next line. Then ampersand GT, it will print the greater than symbol. Then the text is the greater than symbol. Like this it will display. This is an example for the special character. Okay, just go through. Then next one, working with images. So along with this text we can also include images in our web page. So let us now make our web page more exciting by putting images. So you specify an image with the img tag. Earlier in this unit, display the image on a page was explained using the background. Background, what's the use of this background? Background is used along with this body tag. That is the attribute of the body tag. It's used for displaying an image. If the image is small, then it will display as style as the background of the web page. So this displays the image as the background image. Then background image make the page heavy and hence the page takes a considerable amount of time to load. But the img tag can be used for displaying an image with the desired height and width. If you want to display an image in our web page, we can use the tag img and we can use the attribute height and width to specify the height and width of that image. So next, figure 2.9. So let us take a look at the syntax of the img tag. Img, this is the syntax. Img, that is the name of the tag. Then src. After this src equal to, we should specify the file name with the extension. Then width equal to, then you have give the width value of that image. Then height equal to, you should give the height value of the image. Then alt equal to alternate text. It means, what do you mean by this alt and alternate text? If the image is not there, in the folder we specified, then what will display? It will put a box and the alt, what all things that we give after the alt attribute will be displayed over here. So alternate text. Then border equal to value. If you want to put a border for that image, then we can give a border equal to value. Border, then value 1 or 2 or 3 that we can give. If we don't want any border, then we can give the border equal to 0. Then align equal to value. So we can give the align, left align, center align, right align also we can give. So this is the syntax for this img tag. Then what do you mean by this img? After this we want to give the src. What do you mean by src? This attribute specifies the path to the source file that contains the image. So from this path the image should be taken. The value in the above example, image.gif, means that the browser will look for the image named image.gif in the same folder as the HTML document itself. Otherwise you have to specify the folder name. Okay. Then width is used for specifying the desired width of the image. So width equal to, then you have to give the value. Then height, this is used for specifying the desired height of the image. Then put height equal to, then the height value that you want to give. Then border. An important attribute of the img tag is border. So this attribute specifies the width of the border of the image. By default it is 0. That is, there is no border. 0 means there is no border. Then I will show you figure 2.9. So in this image.gif has been given a border size of 2 pixels. The following code give a wider border to the above image. For example, body BG color, then IMG SRC equal to image.gif width equal to 130, height equal to 100, then border equal to 10. It will give a thick border. Then alt. Another IMG attribute that is important, that is alt. Alt is sort of a it's a substitute for the image that is displayed or used when the user is using a browser that does not display images. So if some browsers are not supporting images, then what the alternate text that we are giving will be displayed over there. Otherwise, the image is not available there. The specified image is not available there. Then also that alternate text will be displayed over there. Okay. Then this is the example. HTML head title, then body BG color, then IMG SRC equal to images/flower.jpg. What is this? This flower.jpg is inside a folder called images. That's why I gave like this, images/flower.jpg. Then width equal to 130 pixels and height equal to 101 pixels. Alt equal to image is turned off. That means if the image is not available over here, then it will display like this, image is turned off. What text that we are giving after this alt equal to will be displayed over here. Then align equal to bottom, border equal to 2. This is the 2 pixel border. Here you can see. Then this text is placed at the middle of the image. The text is also displayed over there. Then /body/HTML. Okay. The next one is meta tag. So this meta tag that we are using, where we are using this meta tag, you might be aware of and perhaps may have used search engines such as Google to look for web pages on a topic of interest. For example, someone are open this google.com and type some words like IGNO or MCA, IGNO MCA, like that. So the meta tag comes in useful if you want your web page to be easily locatable by search engine. So what's the use of this meta tag? Meta tag is useful if you want your web page to be easily locatable by search engines. So for locating the search engines, our web page should be locatable by search engines. We should use the meta tag. When you enter a search string, the search engine shows web pages containing that string, provided the web page has used those in meta tag appropriately. So the search engine interacts with the meta tag of the HTML page in order to find the required string. Information inside the meta element should be such as to describe the document. So here meta tag has two attributes, first one name and second one content. So this attribute is used for identifying the type of meta tag you are including, that we are giving in the name part. Then content, this attribute is used to specify the keywords that the search engines catalog. So these are the use of the meta tag. Meta tag is used for easily, the web page is to be easily locatable by the search engines. We are using the meta tag. Two attributes are there, name and content. Here is some example. Meta name equal to author, content equal to IGNO. Again, meta name equal to description, content equal to this web page shows you the different courses offered by IGNO. Then again, meta name equal to keyword, content, we can separate the keywords. We can separate content by comma, website, different courses offered, then IGNO, MCA, BCA. So someone is searching for this IGNO MCA, then it will, the search engine can easily recognize our web page. So this is the use of the meta tag. Then this is the end of this unit, and one case study is there. Now let us consider an example that make use of almost all the tag explained so far. So this is a case study that is in your text. So you just go through that case study and try to type that in a text editor and save it and try to run it. So this is the case study. Title: solved case study for HTML. The title here you can see. Then body link is there, v link is there, then p align, then special characters, bold, italic, underline, font, then all these are there. So ABC products, this is the output of the case study. Some images are there, that is also loaded over here, bold, italic, underline. Image is a horizontal ruler, then two images are there, here also another horizontal ruler is there. So you just go through this case study, just try to type it in a text editor and open it in a web browser. So this is the end of this unit.